Hey Adam, how's it going? I thought I'd just drop you a message for a couple of reasons. One was that I thought that it would be good for you to sort of get a taste of what this alternative format could be like. Not exactly a podcast, but more of a monologue that someone can record and share, and perhaps get some ideas in a longer time quantum than sort of steady back and forth. Both have their advantages, but I thought that it would be nice for you to sort of get a sample of something like this to see how it compares. Um, and so I was thinking about distributed podcasts and what that means. Nothing super profound or anything like that. Just that if you think about it in one way, it isn't entirely clear uh, to me what the difference is between having multiple separate podcasts and what you seem to refer to as a distributed podcast. Aside from the number of places where that content is posted, right? So if, for example, there are 5 different podcasts run by 5 different people, then the difference between that and a distributed podcast would be that all of those would be accessible in some sort of a bundle, right? So whether that is on a particular website, on a YouTube channel, whatever the case may be, that would be one way that you could conceive of a distributed podcast where different people are having different conversations, but they are packaged together. The one way that is not exactly distributed or decentralized is that, of course, it's being maintained in a single repository. And I suppose there are a couple of ways around that where each person that posts something new, records a conversation, and then uploads it somewhere, also has a list of all of the other podcasts that have gone on in the same vein, right? So your conversation with Aaron, my conversation with you, and so on and so forth, even if they are perhaps posted in more than one place, they could also have a list of all of the other podcasts that particular person didn't participate in directly. So that would be one way that it could still be a distributed podcast. Just thinking through, and I have some thoughts written from a couple of days after we spoke. So part of it reminded me of personal identity, the way that it's taught in Intro to Philosophy, where they bring up, I think it's Derek Parfit, and the thought experiment where if someone enters a teleporter and comes out the other side, is it the same person or not? Or for that matter, from one moment to the next or one day to the next, what is it that really makes someone the same person? And I think I was thinking through the same sort of thing with regards to the podcast, right? So 2 different recordings by 2 different sets of people and then uploaded to 2 separate places is clearly 2 separate podcasts. Even if they're named the same, then they are essentially 2 separate podcasts, unless there is some sort of association between them. And then I started thinking about, well, if there is the sort of distributed, or maybe I should say decentralized distribution of these episodes, then there, of course, are some challenges due to perhaps the more open nature of the podcast, right? Where if there are multiple people that are creating these things and uploading these things separately, then there doesn't seem to be anything to stop people that are, quote unquote, unauthorized or not really a part of the project to upload something and attach the same name to it. And while that is very good in the sense that it is very open and it encourages other people to follow the example that is set, or however you want to put it. But then again, there is the possibility or the risk of misuse, or someone applying the name to something that isn't exactly what the sort of spirit of the exercise is, or outright malicious, or illegal activity or something like that. I don't know. Though on the other hand, if we sort of say that, well, we can't have anyone and everyone claiming that it is the same podcast and recording something and uploading it, and we don't want that, then of course the opposite risk is gatekeeping, where you're prohibiting people from doing something in exactly the same way, or somehow discouraging this thing that on the other hand you're trying to encourage. So there's that thought as well. So I don't know, just other thoughts like is it possible to somehow create a distributed ledger of these podcasts? Other thoughts were if they are being somehow posted to or linked to, or if there's a list being created of some kind of these podcasts, these episodes, then how is that supposed to be maintained in a decentralized fashion, if that is possible? So I think those were all my thoughts on the topic. Just sort of trying to get a better sense of what it really means for something to be both decentralized and have the same label applied to it. So it would be great if I hear back from you. I don't know, if you want to do something like this as a reply, that would be cool. If not, then more conventional ways of communicating are fine too. Just thought I would throw this out there and see what you have to say. All right, thanks. Bye.